Hi friends! Welcome to week 2 of our June blog class in our Ambrosia album. I'm so excited to get started after all of our prep work last week. This album is so much fun. Gabby has put so many fun details into it. Little techniques that you really wouldn't think of, but that add so much character to your album. So I'm really excited to get started. And she has tutorials on her blogs that teach you how to make these flowers and stuff, so I will direct you there when the time is right. And excuse my messy desk, but there's so much to this that it's just too much fun. It kind of takes up a lot of room. So without any further ado, we will go ahead and get started. All right, let me tell you what you're going to need today. Out of your 6x6 pad, you're going to need the chiffon. That's kind of, I know it's patterned, but it's a solid chiffon, and the solid ocean, and the solid wine color. So those are the 3 papers you're going to need from your 6x6 pad. As far as embellishments, we're going to use our jewels, and then our layered dimensionals and our layered chipboard. We're going to use a sticker off of our combo, and then you're going to need your 12x12 chipboard, along with this pink tutu paper. And we're going to use the bracket that we cut out last week and that we put glitter on. And as far as other items, to create these beautiful roses, Gabby used the Spellbinders Rose Creations die. Now you can make them if you have other flowers that are in a similar size. There's several different companies, so I'm sure you have something on hand to use for those. We're going to create another flower with the 2 sizes of this daisy here from the EK Success. And you're going to need some white paint. We're going to use our stamps a little bit. We couldn't finish that last week because our glitter was wet. Some decorative scissors, some brown ink, a brown pen, and a white pen. Or, as Gabby suggested, she uses the bit correction pen. And I don't know. I'm sure you all have the same struggle that I have with white pens. Finding the perfect white pen is nearly impossible. So this flows easy, comes out nice. So you have options. Alright, so we will get started with our cover. Make sure that you have all your pages from last week that are dry. And we're going to need some of our butterflies that were dry and some of the pieces that you cut out. Just have all of those on hand and I'll tell you which ones you need. Okay, to get started, we're going to work on the cover. I should have told you this last week, and I neglected to, but you're actually going to, and we used the chestnut roan, the liquid, or the fluid chalk. You're going to ink around all of the pages. So I'm going to go ahead and do that at the end, but if you have time, if that's something you want to do now, you're going to ink around all of the edges. Okay, so on the cover, we're going to start with this large piece off of our chipboard. And since it's so big, and I kind of want it to make sure it stays on as my album gets looked through over and over, so I'm just going to add a little bit of extra liquid adhesive to it. I think I've mentioned that before. I want things to stick down, because when people open and close, it kind of loses its integrity. Okay, so that piece is just going to go front and center, moments like this. This album will be so much fun for all kinds of themes. Right now my mind is blank, so you guys should make comments and let me know what you're going to use your albums for. But really, you could use it for anything. Engagement photos, baby photos. Like Gabby used it just moments with her daughters. They've gone for a walk or at the park or in their yard. I'm not sure where they are, but it's a beautiful area. So we've got that. Now basically we're just going to embellish it. And I'm going to show you what we've got here as I look. So we've got little chipboard butterflies, and then we've got our butterflies that we cut out right there. We've got jewels, and then we've got these roses. And I've made mine, let me show you. I've got mine all made and ready to go. And you are going to go to Gabby's website to learn how to make these. These are what we use the Spellbinders Rose Creations. And I'm going to tell you her blog is gabriellepaleco.blogspot.ca. But I will put a link with the backslashes that tell you exactly where to go to make the rose. So go down below this video and look at that website and then go there to make your cute little roses. So we're just going to embellish the cover like that, and then we'll move on to the inside cover. Alright, on the inside cover, we're going to start with this border punch that we did. And hopefully you all were able to figure that out, how to get yours even. So I'm just going to cut that right down the center. And it really doesn't matter if it's straight because you're just going to have it on both sides. Like that. And it just goes about a half an inch away from this outside edge. So just stick those guys on. Oops. Oops. I really do know how to use adhesive, you guys. Okay, so when we get this done, it's going to actually look like that piece goes all the way under our project. Because we're actually going to put this guy on here, and he's going to kind of match up with these points. So that's a good way you can kind of just see if you're even there. I'm going to bring this guy out just a little bit. And really, it doesn't matter. It just depends on how much things like that bug you. So there, now I'm going to stick the bracket on. I think it's funny when you're at a crop to watch different people and see how they use adhesive. I have one friend, do you guys remember back in the days when we used those little tabs? And she would use, cut those in half and use very few because she was very frugal with her adhesive. Hi Barbie, if you're out there. And then there's other people like me. I'm like, I just adhere all. I just use whatever. I should be more frugal. Okay, so that guy's on there. Now we are going to cut out of our wine and our chiffon. You're going to cut photo mats, and they are going to be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm just going to cut mine together. Not only that, but I love going to crops just to get ideas and see how differently everybody scrapbooks. I haven't been to one in a while. I might have to start looking to see if I can find myself one. So now you're gonna ink the edges of these, and then we're actually going to sew around this wine colored one. So then, well, let's see, before I move on, I will have you do this next step, and then we can do that all at the same time. You're also going to take this sticker right here that has this little fancy Seize the Day, and you're going to put it on the ocean paper and back it. So just leave, like not even maybe 1/8 of an inch around there. And then you're actually going to use the waterfall glitter and just glitter the whole ocean paper. So I'm just going to trim this and then glitter around and set that guy aside so he can dry. Okay, so I'm using a brown marker and I'm making stitch marks around this page. And also, if you didn't, I think I told you last week to just stitch around this cream colored paper. So if you didn't get to that last week, you'll want to do that this week. And I'm telling you that now that I've already told you to adhere it down. So I just did a brown stitching around here, and then I've got my 2 papers cut out and I inked around them, and then the wine colored one I stitched around. And for my stitching, I like to pull all my threads to the back and then I just tape it on and then trim my stitching. If you have a different way to do your stitching, leave us a comment and let us know. There's some projects actually that I just trim the strands a little bit short and then I just let them go because I think it adds to the shabbiness of it. This one, I don't really want that look on. Okay, so this one's going to go on this bracket and it's going to go over to the right. You're going to leave this open because we're going to put the Seize the Day over here. So this guy is going to go right there. And then your cream is actually your photo mat. And it is not sewn, but Gabby has actually sewn her photo. Let me show you that. So we've got the burgundy that's stitched, and then we've got our cream background, and then her photo is actually stitched, which I absolutely love. And also, she has distressed the edges of all of her photo mats and photos. I'm not sure if you can see that, but she's just used the little distressor and distressed each of the edges. And speaking of distressors, I've been thinking about buying that Zutter one that you just bzzz your papers through. If any of you have that or have tried that, will you just type in and let me know if you like it, if it was worth it? Something that I'm just trying to decide if it'll be worth my money. So now we're just going to take this photo mat, and it's going to be tilted on a little bit of an edge, so a little bit below and over. And then your photo will just go right on top of there. Gorgeous, right? Okay, now we're going to take our Seize the Day sticker that you've got glitter on. Mine's not quite dry. Hopefully yours is. And we're going to use foam squares. We're actually going to stick that guy right there. I may or may not have just wiped the glitter off, but it's okay. You get the idea. Okay, and now we get to use our fun embellishments. So you'll need this guy off of your 12 by 12, and he is going to go right down here in the corner. I'm just giving him a little extra adhesive. And then we're going to use all 4 of the butterflies that we did that are pink. I'm going to put a big guy, and I'm just going to adhere the center. I bent mine and just put adhesive right on the center. So our blue disc gets a big guy. This top corner over here gets a big guy. Our medium guy is going to go right under the S and Seize the Day. And then our little guy is going to go right above. And I'm thinking, there's a glare. Okay, and then my last step, I'm just going to add some bling right there where those 2 swirls meet in this, I don't know, what do you call this, bracket? A woohoo. Okay, and then we're going to move on to our next page. And that guy looks like this. And the first thing you're going to need for that page is out of your wine colored paper, you're going to want a piece that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/2. And you're going to want to stitch around that guy. So I'm going to do the same thing and pull all my strings to the back and then tape them down. You're also, for this one, this is where we're going to use our layered dimensionals and our layered chipboard. So go ahead and get those out. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. This is going to go right in the center of the page, but okay, this is where you're going to have to edit. Before this paper, we're actually going to stamp right here. Okay, so I went ahead and used my white pen and I penned around the side of my album, and now I'm going to stamp my little woohoo right here. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this because I don't want the whole thing there. So I'm just going to put some tape over those guys. I'm actually going to turn it this way so I get more pressure. So I've got tape there. That way it's not going to pick it up when I get ink on there. I'm going to ink that guy up. And before I stamp, I'm going to take those off. Otherwise, I'm going to get big blobs on my project. And this is right, it's just going to go right here in the center. Try and get even pressure all the way around. And there's our stamped image. Alright, so you've got your photo mat that's 3 1/8 by 4 1/2, and it is just going to go right below our stamp. Just fits perfectly right there. Okay, then this is where you're going to need doilies, and you can get these at any local craft store, like in the cake section. So we're going to lay that right on top of this photo mat. Now, I just finished using my adhesive, so I'm going to put some liquid adhesive on it, which I would never do normally, but okay. And that's just going to go right here in the center. Don't mind my mess of adhesive right there. That guy's not going anywhere. Okay, now we're going to embellish. This is the fun part. So, you need your layered stickers. The first one we're going to use is this cute little scalloped center where Gabby's put her daughter's name on it. She said her sweet Chloe. I'm just going to put that over here on the left. And then with our dimensionals, this big piece here, we're going to put that guy over here on the right. And then again with our dimensionals, this little purple guy is going to go right up here above. Okay, now here comes the fun. We're going to make this cool flower. So you want 2 out of your wine-colored paper, 2 of the bigger flowers, and 2 of the smaller flowers. And then I've taken decorative scissors, as per Gabby's instructions, and you just clip them. And you could really use any decorative scissors because we're just making the edges have texture. Okay, and then we're going to, and we only need 2, I don't know why I did 3. We're just going to mist them with water and crinkle them up a little bit. I'm just going to mist them and let that soak in. And I really wanted to go through Gabby's rose tutorial with you for the roses we did on the front. However, she sent me a set to do that, and I did them on my own so that I could learn how, and then I didn't have a set to do with you because I don't own the Spellbinders Rose Creations, but you can bet your bottom dollar I am on the lookout and I will be buying it ASAP. So I'm just going to crinkle these guys up a little. And then we're just going to layer them and alter the petals. So now I'm going to uncrinkle. And then we're just going to layer and alter so that they go every which way. And we're going to adhere that together. We're going to draw some little veins in the petals and then put some bling in the center and it will be ready to stick on. Okay, so Gabby didn't, but I just added a little glitter here because we have glitter on the other side. And on top of here is going to be your photo, so we're not going to actually put anything there. And this is where she's actually sewn on the photo again. So we're just going to finish adding the rest of this stuff and our flower, finish off our flower, and we'll be good. So I glued my flower together and added a jewel in the center, and now I'm just going to give it a little bit of white paint. And I'm just going to keep my paintbrush dry, and then literally I'm just going to give it some pieces of dry paint. You can see I drew the veins on. When the paint's still dry, you can kind of manipulate it into what you need it to be. Okay, so that guy is going to go there. And then our 2 wine flowers that we cut out are going to go here next to it. And then on our, so I've got these 2 guys here. Sorry. And we're going to add some bling in the center of those. And from our layered chipboard, I'm going to give this one more layer. And then you'll be ready to add your photo and add your journaling, and you are set to go. So those are the 3 pages that we're working on this week, and next week we will work on the middle 4. So I hope you're enjoying your album as much as I am. It's always so much more gorgeous in person. The camera doesn't do it justice. Oh, I didn't finish that one yet, so you can't see that one. So, thanks for playing, and we will talk to you next week. Bye!